Here, an inquiry is to be held into the contaminated blood scandal, which left at least 2,400 people dead. Theresa May said it would establish the causes of what she said was an appalling injustice that led to thousands of NHS patients given blood products infected with HIV and hepatitis C in the 70s and 80s. Our health and social care correspondent Victoria MacDonald reports.
For decades, victims and their families have asked, begged, cajoled, lobbied, campaigned for an inquiry into contaminated blood, all to no avail until now. It came out of the blue, literally half an hour before an emergency debate here in the House of Commons was due to begin. Downing Street suddenly announced that there would be a public inquiry into the tainted blood scandal, or at least they would begin consulting on what sort of inquiry it should be. Nobody was expecting this. 7,500 NHS patients are known to have been infected with hepatitis C and HIV during the 70s and 80s. That blood mainly imported from abroad. The actual figure, though, could be as high as 30,000. It's estimated, too, that at least 2,400 people have died as a result. Today, that emergency debate in the House of Commons went ahead anyway.
Had more than 2,400 people died over the course of one day or 1 year, it would have been inconceivable for any government to refuse calls for a public inquiry. Yet the devastation caused by the contaminated blood scandal has been spread not over days or years, but over several decades.
Dave Gort, a 39-year-old with haemophilia, was infected more than 20 years ago.
I wasn't told until I went to adult care that I'd contracted hepatitis C. I suspect that the Children's Hospital knew that I'd contracted hepatitis C, but I wasn't told till the age of 15 and going into adult care that I'd actually been given it. So I think for me personally there was some cover-up there. And then having, hepatitis C, and when a lot of people got HIV as well, that carries a stigma with it in itself. So not being able to tell friends, I covered it up, I didn't tell anybody until, for me, it actually became life-threatening.
So what are the questions that need answering? The former Health Secretary, Andy Burnham, recently described tainted blood as a criminal cover-up on an industrial scale. But also, why was risky blood imported from America? Why were some people not told they were infected? Were documents destroyed? This is what the former Health Minister, Lord David Owen, told us in 2007.
When I found that my own papers, when I was Minister of Health, were no longer available to me in '87, because apparently under a 10-year rule they had all been scrapped, I was pretty suspicious.
There have been inquiries. Lord Penrose in Scotland in 2015. That was described by campaigners as a whitewash. They even tried to set fire to it. And in 2009, the Independent Archer inquiry, which was set up by Lord Morris, was published. But that was limited by redacted or missing Department of Health documents. Critically, though, neither Penrose nor Archer had the powers to hold anyone to account. Now, finally, an official UK-wide inquiry with promises that all those affected and infected will decide exactly what form it will take.